All right, welcome to the Barnstable County Beekeepers Apiary in Barnstable, Massachusetts. Uh, it's kind of a gray day, but it's okay so far for working bees. We're gonna open up the hive and check for eggs, larvae, and brood today. So it's been a month since this hive was installed, and we're thinking it should be thriving by now. It has had a little bit of help. We put in extra honey frames that we had, and we also added a frame of brood to it. Uh, Thinking the queen might have gone, but turns out, in fact, she's there. So it's all worked out good. They are not touching their syrup on top, so I'm going to remove that. And the gallon is full. So that's basically been ignored, but no big surprise here. There's been a heck of a honey flow in the last 3 or 4 weeks. So they're not paying attention to the food that we're giving them. I think we're going to leave that off. All right. So there's a good bit of bees here. I'm going to use minimal smoke because, they seem pretty docile at the moment. So just a little to tell them I'm coming in. And one thing we always emphasize is look on the bottom of the inner cover. The queen could be there. It does happen. Not seeing her, I'll put that aside. And count the number of seams of bees we have. So seam of bees is, bees filling the space between the frames. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's a pretty good colony for only being a month old. Take the second frame out. It's usually the easiest. And let's see what we see. Going up slow and vertical so I don't roll bees. This is a resource frame. They just have it about half to 2/3 drawn out on one side and not quite that much on the other, and they're putting nectar in it, so not much to see there. And no queen or anything. Let's keep going towards the center. The first frame was one of honey that we put in earlier to boost the moisture of the colony. Okay. This frame is got a little bit of pollen. Don't know if you can see it from that distance, but just in this area right here, you can see the color. But I would call that a resource frame. We're going to leave that aside. Checking for the queen as always. Okay, take out this frame. It's got good weight to it. This is a beautiful brood frame. I guess I'd rate her probably 3 out of 5 as far as brood pattern. So nice brood all in this area here. My one concern is, and we've seen this a lot today on inspections, is that it's being backfilled. So the queen doesn't have any more room to lay in this. So by backfilled, I mean that when the newly merged bee comes out, its co-workers go in and fill it with nectar. So that's a concern. We're gonna have to keep an eye on that. So what we have here is a good brood pattern, but the thing is after the new bees have emerged, the frame is being backfilled with nectar, so the queen has no place to lay, so that's a concern. We might have to allow her some more room, but we'll check the other frames as well. Okay, moving on. We should be getting into more brood here, and in fact we are. But again, I've got that same concern. When bees emerge, they come out of the center first because that's a pattern the queen lays in. She starts in the center and does a spiral out to the edges. So the newly emerged bees are in the center, and the same problem. If I put my fingers on there, and you'll see there's a lot of nectar in there and no free cells. So that's definitely a concern at this point. This colony is going to need more space. So we'll work with that. Same here, and you can actually see as I pick it up and tilt it, nectar is actually coming out of some of the cells. So this is getting to be a pretty extreme case of backfilling in the brood nest. It's going to have to be the number one issue addressed with this hive. And in fact, I haven't seen any uncapped larvae and eggs, so that could mean the queen has really been constrained. I'm starting to see a couple of open cells of larvae here, but again, not enough to feel really comfortable with the situation. This would be a good frame to find the queen on. I'm going to look for her. She is marked with a blue dot, but she's evaded us before. That's why we put an extra frame of brood in here last time we were in. Just didn't act as insurance policy. It turns out after another inspection a week or so later, they found that she is in here and laying. So I'm going to keep an eye out for her. Going to look at another frame or two, and then no, this one is just resources. It's a low light day, but I would say this is strictly nectar coming in. And this should be a honey frame that we had added to give them enough resources, and it is. So that's good. So one of the things I'm going to do is take the frame I just saw that's mostly built out. I'm going to come into the middle of the brood nest, and what we're going to do is, called 2, 1, and 2. So basically we want to go 2 brood frames, 1 partially drawn out frame, and then 2 more brood frames, with the idea you never want to separate a single brood frame by itself. So it's a key concept to remember. So I'm going to move 2 of the frames I found over and take this frame that has open cells in it and put it in the middle of the brood nest to give them a little bit more room to lay. Otherwise, if you don't do that, you risk even a young colony like this can get honey bound, and it can swarm on you. So, and then let me see if I can find another partially drawn comb. I think I have one here. So move 2 over. Sure this says brood. Yep. Okay. 2 over, and then I'm going to put another partially drawn frame in here. So again, the queen has some relief as far as where she can lay eggs. Definitely something you want to look out for in the springtime when there's a nectar flow on, which there is definitely going on the last couple of weeks here. So it's a form of checkerboarding, but it's a very specific, checkerboarding that you always want to group 2 brood frames together, which we've done. All right, that's looking better. So to further relieve the congestion in this brood nest, I'm going to take and put a honey super on here, and we're going to leave off the feeder because they're not taking it down. They don't need it. So this is just a medium box. It's got all drawn frames in it. I'm going to smoke them down a little bit just to make sure I don't squish any bees. You use smoke to move the bees. Since this is drawn frame in here, it's actually, it's not foundation. It's got wax built out on it, so it's drawn. So it's okay to use a queen excluder. If it was total foundation, you want to leave this queen excluder off for 5 to 7 days to let the bees work it a little bit and then come back in. So queen excluder is going on. Box of foundation is being put over it, and this will give the bees more room to process and store the honey that the nectar they're bringing in. At this point, we're going to shut the cover one more time. I'm going to just shake off the few bees that are there. All you have to do is hold it horizontal, quick flick of the wrist, and they're pretty much all off. So I'm not hurting any bees. Put the cover back on. And that's it for the day. We're going to leave them alone, let them enjoy the nectar flow, and we'll check them again in 2 weeks.